Hey everyone, what's up and welcome back to my channel, ShadeTV. My name is Marissa Hill. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well as give this video a thumbs up at the end, and feel free to leave me any comments or questions that you guys may have at the end. And don't forget, as always, hit that notification bell as we do have some amazing videos up and coming this week, and I definitely want to alert you as soon as those videos have been posted. All right, so let's jump into it. I know that this video was a bit delayed. I was busy last week being out of town for work, but I have now filmed this amazing video, at least the lookbook portion of it for you guys, on Supreme Week 4. So I want to go through and talk about some of the items I copped and show you what those items look on me and how I styled them. So first off, I want to start with just some of the accessories. I was able to cop 3 different accessories, not including the wrench. Unfortunately, guys, I do not have that with me because I copped that online. It looks like it was sent over to me today, or sent out today. So hoping I get that this week and I can put up a quick video for you guys to check out and see what that wrench looks like. As far as, Verify tee, by the way, everyone, just to keep you updated on my red Verify tee that I thought I won on Supreme. They just notified me last week that they canceled my order. So thanks, Supreme. Appreciate that email that you sent over to me weeks after I thought that I actually won the Verify t-shirt. So anyways, let's get back into what I got with the accessories in store. So first off, I want to start with the S logo GORE-TEX hat. I got this in that kind of natural color, which I'm super stoked about because this hat is made out of GORE-TEX, so it's definitely going to be a great outdoor cap. And I love this natural color just because I feel like this is going to go with pretty much everything. It's got the white embroidered shiny S right there. It's beautiful embroidery going on in the front, and then we of course have this lovely Supreme on the back in black. And as far as the quality, this is definitely like a flexible material, which is quite nice. So the cap fits pretty well on my head. Definitely had to tighten it a bit, but I do love the Supreme hats that have this compartment where you can hide that little tail so it's not sticking out, which is pretty cool. And then we've got that nice ingrained Supreme on this latch here, which is pretty cool. Nice little subtle detail on there. All right, so next up, I copped a clear label black beanie, and I actually really love this label. It's almost like a rubbery kind of material, which is pretty cool. We've of course got that nice subtle Supreme box logo in there, and it's got the New York City registered trademark 94 to 2020. So yeah, it's different than the beanies that I've seen, but I definitely love this beanie for our up and coming winter fall season since it's starting to get cold out here in New York, but definitely glad that I was able to get this in that black colorway. For those of you who don't know, this went for $36, and I forgot to mention this S logo ball cap went for $58. And then let's jump into the Supreme YOHJI Yamamoto beanie. Let me just grab this piece of tape that's stuck on the back there. Definitely love that I copped this in the black colorway. It's got, of course, that kind of spray painted Supreme logo on the front with YOHJI Yamamoto in kind of that painted type of cursive lettering there. And what I love is on the back, we also have kind of a little box logo Supreme going on there. And this again is a new era beanie. So this is definitely some nice high quality material on this beanie. And this one went for $40. Alrighty, so now let's get into the clothing items. I'm wearing one of my favorite cops of the week, and this is the YOHJI Yamamoto sweater, and I'm in love with this sweater. Definitely reminds me of Minecraft. It's kind of got like the blocking textures here on this flower, but I just love how this writing pops off in this royal blue, and it's almost like a raised texture that goes on top of that woven flower. So this is definitely not sweater material, the text on here. So they did a really good job with kind of making that look 3D, where it really just seems to pop off of the sweater. And overall, it's very comfortable. I know that I've gotten some sweaters in the past where I wasn't sure how itchy they would be. This sweater is not itchy at all, which I'm so thankful for. So I don't need to have to wear a long sleeve underneath it. I can just wear the sweater on top of a tank top or a t-shirt, and I don't feel like I have to itch my skin all over, which is quite nice. So I just paired all of the looks today with just some simple, tight, light denim pants that were a little distressed with my Fear of God black sneakers. So as far as the bottoms go, there's not going to be any mixture going with that. I was able to cop the Supreme YOHJI Yamamoto Crewneck. I went for that in the black colorway. Definitely love the black coloring just because it goes basically with anything and everything. One of the things I did notice while I was outside in that natural light is that that Supreme logo is actually just this very nice kind of shiny red. It actually kind of, I don't know, glistens in the light. So it really comes off as though it was, you know, freshly spray painted on a wall. And then that cursive YOHJI Yamamoto text actually looks very realistic, almost like it was painted in cursive, which is quite cool. So definitely happy with that cop. It's a very thick, comfortable crew neck. So very happy to have an additional sweatshirt that I can add to my collection. Okay, I also just want to mention the price point on the sweater was $190. And for those of you who know the designer YOHJI Yamamoto, his stuff is extremely expensive. So when I saw the price point on this sweater, I was definitely drawn more to it based upon the fact that like I can barely afford his stuff. So for me to be able to cop a sweater for $198, which most of the sweaters I've seen are around like $900. So this was definitely a great deal for this collaboration with Supreme. So excited that I was able to get this just because of the price point value of it as well. All right, so I want to get more into detail on some of the t-shirts. So I'm actually gonna stand up and get over here. Let's just talk about the price point on this as well. This is $168 for this. And for all of these clothing items as well, I'm a size medium. I do like things a bit oversized. And as well as YOHJI Yamamoto definitely has lots of oversized just items in all of his collections. So this makes sense that most of the Supreme items are oversized, just like Supreme usually is. So next up, we've got the Game Over tee that I got in black. And I actually just really love Peter Saville's artwork, and I think it really displayed quite nicely with, you know, this collab that was also done with YOHJI Yamamoto. So you've got 3 different people putting all their different ideas on one shirt, and I think the Game Over definitely came out quite nice. It's very vibrant. You'll be able to see that in that natural lighting. And this t-shirt was $54. And then my favorite of the t-shirts that I copped was This Is Tomorrow, another Peter Saville art piece. This flower just really pops. It is such a beautiful flower. I mean, it literally looks neon. I grew up actually, my grandma had these little lights that you would turn on and like twist, and they would like light up. And this kind of reminds me of one of those flowers that was in one of those little machines that she had in our house. So kind of sentimental. Really love the coloring scheme on this. The purples and the pinks just really pop. Of course, we got that YOHJI Yamamoto signature with the Supreme logo on the bottom here. And again, this one was $54 as well. And then last but not least, to match that crew neck sweater, we've got the Supreme YOHJI Yamamoto t-shirt in the black colorway. I definitely, out of the black and the white, really was drawn more to this color just because I think that the red and the white really pops off of the black very well. And again, I mean, in the light, this really does look like the Supreme logo was actually spray painted onto this t-shirt, as well as the YOHJI Yamamoto looks like it was truly painted as well. And again, let's see, the price point on this was $54 as well. So that was all of the cops that I got for this week. Let me know what you guys were able to cop and what was your favorite item for Supreme Week 4. All right, so 2 other items that I tried on but I didn't end up copping was the scattered logo top, and I tried that on in the white colorway in a size small. It was actually quite comfy, but I just feel like it was too basic for me. I don't know, and I also have a lot of long sleeve shirts, so for me, I feel like the YOHJI Yamamoto stuff just really kind of stood out a little bit more than this scattered logo tee, but definitely something pretty basic and pretty comfortable. But definitely I took a pass on that one. And then the kind of well anticipated item, but I wasn't quite sure how the price point would be on this. I think it was a little too high for my liking, but that was the Supreme YOHJI Yamamoto leather work jacket. So I was able to try that on in that red colorway. As far as it goes with the picture on the website, it looks definitely more with the kind of red tone, but it's actually more of an orange red in person. So definitely was glad that I was able to try that on before kind of pulling the trigger on getting it, 'cause when I saw the actual red colorway, I wasn't as much of a fan of it. But I do think that that artwork on the back with the Supreme and YOHJI Yamamoto signature is quite amazing. I mean, it really definitely pops. I do believe that that leather coat will probably be worth some value later on, as I've seen a lot of YOHJI Yamamoto's leather jackets do retain their value and they do tend to increase as far as resale goes. All right, so now let's get into some of the sellout times and talk about how things did in the US. All right, so the Supreme YOHJI Yamamoto logo tee in white in a size small was the item that sold out the fastest in the US, and that was in 7.3 seconds. Next up was the Supreme YOHJI Yamamoto sweater that I'm wearing here in a small, and that went in 7.8 seconds as well. Next up, it looks like the Supreme YOHJI Yamamoto Scribble Wolf Tee did very well. So in a small and extra large, those both went in 8.4 seconds for the small, and the XL went in 9 seconds. And then of course, the sweaters in other sizes went in around 9 to 10 seconds after that. And then the down jacket, which I was hoping to cop in either that black or green, but I was unsuccessful, took that L on that. That went in the small in 11.4 seconds, followed by the XL in 11.4 seconds as well. And then it looks like the Supreme YOHJI Yamamoto Crewnecks went pretty quickly. A black small went in 11.8 seconds. Then the olive small went in 11.8 seconds as well, followed by the Supreme YOHJI Yamamoto shirt in a small that went in 12 seconds, which was probably the biggest surprise out of the items that sold out the quickest, as well as the SS Pocket Tee in Heather Purple in size small that went in 15.7 seconds. I don't know what it is about purple, but man, purple tees just seem to just go crazy on the Supreme website. So I haven't been able to really manage to cop a quart purple, but man, that small definitely went quite fast. All right, so now let's get into some of the resale, talk about some of the heavy hitting items for Supreme Week 4, and discuss how they're doing currently. All right, so let's get into the resale going on with the items that I copped today. So let's start with the t-shirts, the Game Over tee, and this was Tomorrow tee, as well as that Supreme YOHJI Yamamoto tee, are currently going around $20 over that retail value of $54. So they're ranging around an average price of $75. If you were able to cop a wolf tee, that actually is doing quite well, and that's going closer to around $100. So a little bit more money to be made there. As far as the sweater goes, I got this at retail value of $198, and it's currently doing very well. So depending on the size that you were able to manage to cop, that's ranging from $340 to $400. And then last but not least, that crew neck, which went for $168, is currently going for around $230, and that's across the board. All right, guys, so this was Supreme Week 4. Again, if you're new to my channel, don't forget, hit that subscribe button, as well as give this video a thumbs up at the end if you enjoyed this review, and feel free to leave me any comments or questions on any of the items that I discussed today. And as always, don't forget to hit that notification bell, as we do have lots of up and coming videos that we don't want you to miss. So this is ShadeTV. My name's Marissa Hill. We'll catch you guys on the next video.